Alright, HVAC people. Hey, so today I'm going to make this video for my homeowners, my DIYers out there, on how to replace a compressor yourself. Now, the problem where you probably going to come in there, I don't think it's necessarily efficient for you as far as cost. But I know you see a quote sometime where it's going to cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to have a compressor replaced. But the tools that we're going to use in this video can cost upwards to hundreds to thousands of dollars just to have the tools that I'm going to perform this compressor change out. And now it makes sense for me to buy a tool that's going to cost $1,000 or a couple $1,000 because I'm going to use it over and over again. Like I say, you might see a quote to where us contractors, and by the way, I'm WW HVAC, owner of Washington AC and Heating out of Katy, Texas. Like I say, the problem where you're going to come in at, you may purchase some of these tools to replace your compressor that it's going to cost you hundreds to $1,000 for the compressor itself plus the refrigerant. But the problem that you're going to come in at is some of these tools that I'm going to use to perform this compressor change out. Once you use it one time, it may sit in your garage for the next 10, 15 years until you have another breakdown, which may be a different breakdown next time. It may be something electrical, or you may have a leak or a leak in your evaporator coil. But this video here, I'm gonna use the original diagnosis. I'm gonna put it somewhere, either in links in the description or a caption somewhere, where if you want to see the original diagnosis, where I actually found that the compressor was grounded and it was tripping the breaker. So when you finish watching this video, or if you want to just go back to that video first and see the process of me actually troubleshooting it. I forgot the name, I think the name of the video, it'll be somewhere, but it was an older home, 1918 style home. That's when it was built. But without further ado, let's get this compressor change out. Like I say, I'm gonna take you step by step on how I change it out and how you can change it out too. Okay, so this is the unit that we're gonna be replacing the compressor on. First thing you kind of want to verify, we're gonna take this fan all the way out though, to just kind of get it out the way. Well, actually, I think that's probably enough room. I think I can work with it just sitting right here, but you don't want to take that loose. We can take that fan all the way out the way. So we're gonna go around some of the first things. Kind of want to verify. See that 29 right there? That's pretty much how many BTUs you got. 29,000 BTUs. All right. Then you want to verify what kind of refrigerant that it takes, and it takes 410A refrigerant. All right, like I said, I want to kind of show you all the tools that you're going to need, but first thing we're going to need is a extension cord, because we want to pull a vacuum on it. Well, recover the refrigerant. So I'm gonna get an extension cord and a recovery machine. All right, so you're gonna need a recovery tank, recovery machine. I got the extension cord. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. All right, so you will need a set of manifold gauges. But I'm gonna give you a tip. This tip right here can literally save you $1,000 on this job right here. Whenever you have a grounded compressor, there's a risk that it was a burnout. So this is an acid tester right here. So if you can purchase one of these, it's called Quick Check. We're gonna see if we have any acid in here, because when we recover the refrigerant, we may be able to reuse the refrigerant that we took out. Now personally, I'm gonna use virgin refrigerant for this application right here, but you can, whatever you recover and put in your recovery tank, you can reuse it. So we're gonna do this acid test. You see it's yellow right now. And if it turns orange, that means we got bad refrigerant. And we can't reuse that refrigerant. And we need to put some acid away inside the compressor to clean it up, right? So what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, We can look at our pounds. This comes with a factory charge of 5.42 pounds. So that's about 5.5 pound factory charge. So it's going to take a minimum of that. And refrigerant price can be, for this style refrigerant, can be anywhere between $100 and $200. So 5 times, we're going to do this on the suction side. So 5 times 200, that's $1,000 that you can save just on this test right here if you can't reuse the refrigerant. But you want to go to your suction side right here, and all you're going to do is press in a little Schrader cord on here. All right, and we'll just wait a few minutes. As you can see, it's already look like it's turning. It can turn red, which it already is. You can see it on the bottom, so it's gonna have a little acid in there. You see that? So we cannot reuse that refrigerant anyway. All right, and we're gonna pour some acid away inside there. That just kind of clean the system up. All right. It's not that much in there. Usually the whole thing will turn red, but it just, but you do got a little bit in there. I'm gonna hit it with a little more. Yeah, see, it's definitely turning red though, so can't reuse that refrigerant. Like I say, you're gonna need you some manifolds. I just check our pressure. We can zero that out. We are using 410A refrigerant. So it's our suction side right here. Our liquid side. Put that right up here. You can get a $10,000 fine if you do not recover this refrigerant and you release into the atmosphere or the ozone. That's why EPA got a bunch of regulations, and the refrigerant that I'm putting in here, they actually phasing it out. All right, so I got 235 PSI. So we need to get that down to 0. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how to hook up your recovery tank, but these is the gauges right here. I got that's my liquid side, my liquid hose on the red side right here. This middle hose, I don't know if you got a 4-port or a 3-port. This middle hose is going to go on my recovery machine. Now, like I say, since I do this every day, I usually leave a hose on my recovery machine that says out. Like this one says out, this one says in. Because I know if it's going out, that means it's going out into my recovery tank. So I just leave that one on there. So sometimes you get confused, hey, which is which. And so I just get an old hose or something like that that's not leaking, and I just leave it on here. And it has a valve on here if I need to hurry up and shut it off. And I also remove, these come with a little Schrader core, I don't know what they call it, compressor or whatever, but I remove that so I can get better refrigerant flow. But the one that's coming from my gauges, that's going to go in. It's going into the machine. All right, so it's going into the machine, and this one going out the machine into my recovery. And I like to put it on the liquid. So put this on my liquid side right here. Like I say, this is just a dirty tank right here. So we got a little acid in the unit. So I have refrigerant in here, but if you had a clean bottle refrigerant, I didn't tighten this up all the way. If you can reuse it, like I say, if you did an acid test and yours did not turn red, you can reuse it. So if you reuse this, you don't want to put air in your tank, you want to purge it. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna open this one up. And now that's purging. You don't want to purge too much into the atmosphere. But you probably can hear it though. You see that? You can hear that? So now I'm just gonna close this and now it's purged. Now I can open this tank up. And I won't have any air in the tank. All right. There's that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and open both sides of my gauges right there, my liquid and my suction. So it'll be a little faster. But as we speak, I got a sight glass on these gauges. I can see refrigerant going through here. Because there's pressure up in this system. Even though I don't have my recovery machine on yet. So open up the suction side. So I got all this open. This is a 4-quart manifold right here. The only one I got closed is the one I pull the vacuum on. All right. So go ahead. Plug this up. All right. So I got this open, everything open. We're gonna rock and roll. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and recover everything, but it's good if you got a refrigerant scale also. That's another thing. That's another like form of troubleshooting. You got a refrigerant scale, you can tear it out. For these recovery tanks weigh like 28 pounds, 28 to 30 pounds empty. But if you got a refrigerant scale, you see exactly what's going into the recovery tank. Like I say, the whole 5.5 pounds. Also, when you're troubleshooting, you want to kind of take a look and see if you're going down. You should be going down, not up. There you see, that's how I know I'm removing refrigerant, because my pressure going down. We got to get that down to 0. I usually like to get it to a negative. Anything under 0, where it start putting, the recovery machine can start pulling into a vacuum also. It's just not you can't do a deep vacuum with the recovery machine, but you can pull a little vacuum. All right. So far, all tools we need: gauges, recovery tank, recovery machine, extension cord. And of course, you're gonna need a drill. I can show you that. I never did put the top back on there when I left last time. You're gonna need a drill with a 5/16 or a 1/4-inch drill bit. All right, so next we're gonna need oxygen and acetylene, or what we call our torch set. Also, you're gonna need nitrogen. So you can see real fast that the money start adding up very quickly to repair a unit. As far as the tools. All right, so now I want to just check and see how much pressure I got in there. You see I got 0 PSI, suction little gas 2.5, but it's pretty much empty. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the recovery tank. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a little housekeeping. I'm gonna put my recovery tank, because I don't need to use this anymore, so I'm gonna put it back in my service truck. Your DIY, you can put it back in your garage for the next 15 years till you get ready to use it again. But we are done with this. All right. So I do want to make sure this closed. Even though I'm gonna put a vacuum, I don't want to bring in any air in my system unnecessarily. So we're gonna close those. Right. And like I said, I'm gonna do a little housekeeping, then we're gonna come back and prep to get this compressor out. All right, so we gotta be careful. I don't like a lot of tension. It's not too bad on my wires. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my fan. And that just give me a lot more clearance. And we'll get ready to replace the compressor. right here. And my fan is brown, black, and yellow wire, thick wire. I already discharged the cap from last time, I think anyway. So this one right here. This right there is my pin on the bottom down there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and get these wires out the way here. My compressor wires. I need to remove that. This harness is still in good shape. You want to inspect your harness though. Sometimes it can be melted. Just check the wires. But this one is in good shape, so we can definitely reuse this. Right. So I'm gonna use a wire brush to clean my copper. It's gonna be very important to clean the copper up. Or you can use like sandpaper. I like to be a little quicker, but this do a great job. So if I clean this up, it's gonna be a lot easier when I get ready to braze the new compressor in. It's gonna be already cleaned up for me. All right, so when you're doing these residential units here, another quick tip is, so these compressors right here, this used to be a 1/2 inch. I usually keep a socket with this adapter on here, just in my tool bag. But you can use these also, just a 1/2 inch, and you can get your compressor on loose. All right, you do want to take your 1/2 inch screws out that's mounting your compressor to the condenser unit. You want to take this out before you start brazing. I pretty much use a drill for everything. Alright. So these are the screws right here. Just go ahead and set these to the side. Once you can go ahead and get all these leaves and stuff out of here. These dry leaves right here, they will catch a fire real quick on you. All right. So also, just like to get this a little rock back a little bit, put a little tension on it if I can. All right, so we got nitrogen. Now you don't have to do this, but for sake of some of the comments that's going to get in this video, we're going to go ahead and braze with nitrogen. Like I say, it's really not necessary, especially if you're a professional. When I braze, it's kind of going to be in and out. But if you're a DIYer, sometimes if you don't braze a lot, you might heat the pipe up too hot. Well, we want it hot for sure, but sometimes you'll be beating it up, beating your solder up. So we're gonna show you how to braze with nitrogen. So That's another thing you're gonna need, a nitrogen regulator. This regulator right here, if I just hit it over one time right there, you can't see it, but that's for brazing. I want to do like a leak search or pressurizing. So I'll turn it all the way off, and I can just put it on braze, and this is going to kind of like have a soft blow. Maybe about 10 to 15 psi. Between 5 and 10 psi, that's all we need. But I'll put that on my yellow hose right there. And what I'm gonna do though, we're gonna have to go around here and just kind of bag one of these out a little bit. So I'm gonna bag that out a little bit on my suction, so I have somewhere for my air to escape. If you just put nitrogen in there, you're gonna pressurize it, and you won't be able to get a braze on there. You'll have a little pinhole, right? So what I'm gonna do is, all right, open this up. We're gonna put that on braze. All right. So now, there we go. So now we just heat this up. Another tool that'd be nice to have is this compressor tote. And I just hook this on here, and this is kind of like, let me maneuver it the way I need to if these don't pop out. And it's a back saver also. So I'm not gonna go over the whole tutorial how to set these, but I like my acetylene set to maybe like between 5 and 8, and my oxygen on maybe between 10 and 12. Right. So I got both of them on. Got me a striker. If you don't want that black smut to come in everywhere, you would just kind of crack your acetylene and then just crack the nitrogen a little bit. And then you'll have that instead of black smoke. It's okay to have the smut if you're on the outside, but if you're on the inside, somebody's house or your house, you don't want that stuff going all over your walls. All right, so I am going to put me some gloves on here. Trying to get the camera in there the best I can. I'm gonna have to rock it. So the camera may rock a little bit. Let me see here. Put it right there. All right. So my thing is, I like a lot of heat though. So I'm gonna crank this acetylene up. I wanna sound like a jet. There we go, that's what I want right there. Sound like a little jet. You better see my tip. Tip look like a cone. I'm looking for my more heavy set of pliers, but this right here works. Like I say, we had some good tension on here. It'll pop on out of there. I'm really just heating that coupling up till it turn green. I ain't mean to touch that, but like how that sound. And you're heating that coupling up. Now since I got one pipe though, I probably can use this right here. Easier. Put a little tension on it. When it starts turning green, I know I'm ready. Green means go. I mean that's start about melting. I'm kind of being very careful on how I'm pulling this out, because I like for them to slide out. I really ain't care for how I pull the top one out, but it's okay. I want to slide out though. I want to slide out straight, not crooked. I don't want to bend this copper right here any kind of way. Any little bend on this copper here, it'd be harder to go back in and more susceptible for leaks. But like I said, we can get this one here out of here now. Use my legs. Okay. All right, so we're going with the new compressor here. I prefer Copeland, but we taking the LG out of here. We just going back with the exact same compressor. This is a 3/8 filter dryer, and this is a capacitor. So we're gonna put a new capacitor, filter dryer, and compressor. That's what you're gonna need. If you want to do a whole refurbish, you can replace your contactor. All right, got our new compressor. Go ahead and put our feet on. Go. Very important to put these on. If you don't put these on, at least sit it down on it. The compressor will vibrate. It causes leaks. It causes leaks in your condenser coil. A little vibration. All right. So before I put that one in, I want to clean this copper up a little bit more. Go. All right, so they're gonna set this right on here like that. We can go ahead and get this started right there. The key is we want a little tension on there. We'll kind of force it in there. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some bolts started. I know it ain't going nowhere. I'm a 1/2 inch. Alright, turn my nitrogen back on. Alright, so you're gonna need some 15% brazing rods. That's all I ever use. The only brazing rods I ever use 15%, but some people use 5%. Stay bright. Alright. So what I'm gonna do though, like I said, I like a lot of heat. So I want to kind of heat this up first a little bit. I'm gonna heat my copper up and kind of hit it in there before I start putting that solder on there. All right. There we go. That fall in there like that. That's good. Now the copper already hot. Look for it kind of turn green. See it turn the green on me. And it's kind of going. It's gonna follow my heat. Well, if I got that heat at, that's where I want to go. Alright. Don't take much. Like I say, I'm not going to be on there long, so. Alright, so let me see if I can go ahead and prep this other one up. I'm going to prep this one up. And my acetylene, just crack it first. Now I got to crack my oxygen lesser than whatever I crack my acetylene. If you want to eliminate that smut. See that smut? I want some heat. I want to sound like a jet. Sometimes it's good to kind of bend that copper in there a little bit. I probably got it too hot now. I'm about to say you want a little tension on there. Pop out on it. It's in there far enough though, so we're gonna braze it up. Put that on there and just melt it on around now. Alright, that should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the filter dryer next. Around these houses, it's kind of good to maybe have a fire extinguisher also. Add that to your list, especially when you're dealing with a lot of that dead grass there. So we're gonna at least go get some water. So I don't plan on getting this that hot, but you might want to maybe wrap your king valve up. Say, just maybe put a little water down here so you won't catch no fire. Or you can put like a metal tray up under here to protect it. Oh man, it one of them long. I'd do better just getting a piece of copper and cutting this. One of them long couplings they got on here. This side we can definitely cut. Like I say, the less brazing, the better. But this side here, I'm gonna actually have to braze because the coupling right here, and I got a coupling right here. Really can't cut that because it's solder right here, all around here. So I'm gonna have to braze it out. This one I can just cut. Got a sight glass on here. This is nice to have. Like the painter's done painted over it though. Let me see if I can clean it up. Yeah, we clean it up for him. Alright, so we can see the sight glass now. Alright. I'm just going to cut this end out right here. I already cut this first. Then I get the channel locked, heat it up and pull it out. Right. Heat this up, pull it out.
I only had that little nip right there. I can reuse this end right here. So this is my filter dryer right here, catch all. So we want our filter dryer, very important. The arrow needs to be facing the inside unit towards your expansion valve. Clean it up. Alright. Put a little tension on here. Okay. Stick of solder. Should be all that I need. I like to heat my coupling up a little bit first. Stick of copper get too hot. All right, that should be good. We're gonna go ahead and put some nitrogen in here and do a leak search. All right, so you're gonna need you some form of leak detector. If you want to, you can start off with just really only place that you braze. So we only have 4 brazes right here on that liquid, and I'm barely putting it on there. I just want to kind of splash it on there. I'm at the bottom of this one. I just want to splash that on there. Right now I don't have any nitrogen in there. I just want to start off with this. Cause you'll get a loud, if you got a leak, you're gonna know right off the bat. Cause it's gonna be where you brazed at. It's gonna be loud. You shouldn't have, it ain't gonna be no pinhole. You're gonna miss the whole braze. So, like I said, we'll turn this on. Oh yeah, I need to tighten this one back up since we were purging. All right, so I'm gonna hit this. See, I heard it out the back. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I messed it up on this one right here. See, you'll know out the back. And while you got a little bit in there, you can go ahead and just check everything else. So we're gonna have to repair this one right here. It might be still hot there. Let's check this. This one looks good. All right, you probably better see this leak better than I can. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix it real quick. I get a good camera view at it. It's somewhere at the bottom, but I'm gonna heat the whole thing up. Hopefully, I don't put no solder right there on my camera lens. Probably don't need any more solder, but like I said, a lot of times you really don't even need no more solder. You just heat up what you got on there. I know it's plenty on there already. So, okay, we'll just go ahead and hit it, check it again. Like I said, see, now I don't hear anything. The only thing I hear now is the nitrogen flowing through there. Okay, so we don't waste no nitrogen. We put a little bit in there, 37 PSI, that's good enough to do a leak search. Like I said, that's another thing you gotta have. And then nitrogen is expensive also. It'd be anywhere between $20 and $40 to refill it. All right. Just gonna leak search this again. You get that one time to kind of cool off. All right. Okay, so we got, like I say, 4 well, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So we're hanging in at 37. Okay, I feel comfortable. I can add some more. Now I'm just gonna go to about 250 PSI. So the only thing I got open is my liquid side. So whatever my suction side says, that's how much pressure we're putting in there. 109. We can go see what the factory pressurized this to. Voltage, pressure. So low side 250. That's pretty much all we need. Low side 250, high side 450. So put 250 in there, you should be good. But you can go all the way up to 400. See, I got about 300 something in there now. That's more than enough. All right. So we'll close all this up. So I just know from experience, I got 350 PSI in there. We got TXV in there, so it give it time to stabilize, but it should be good. Right, so what I want to do is do a pressure hold right here. So I got 346. I'm going to, let's go here. So 0.9%, that's pretty much going to be good for me for 5 minutes. Right. So Actually, I'm gonna bump it down a little bit. So if I lose 3 PSI in 5 minutes, that's a lot. You see it'll go off an alarm at 343, so I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna crank this down to maybe, let's see what 0.5% is. So that goes about 344. So I'm gonna go ahead and push play. All right, so 5 minutes. I can do a little housekeeping here. You see my timer's counting down. I go ahead and put my nitrogen up. My raising set. Like I said, next thing you're gonna need is a vacuum pump. Once we successfully leak search this, we're gonna pull a vacuum down, 500 microns, right? All right, so I'm under 10 seconds here. Look like I'm about to pass. I'm at 45.5, my alarm at 344. So as you can see, that is a success. The initial start at 346. It just equalized 45.5. All right, that's a 5-minute test. So you see, if I want to print this out, I can do it start time, end time, to give me an analysis. So I would have to go through the app to do all that. Like we're good to go. Get some pass. That was April 1st, 319. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull a vacuum on it. So when I'm releasing my nitrogen out, I like to kind of just go slow and let it do its thing, because you got O-rings inside your gauges. If you release too quickly, it'll blow it out. And then if you don't have no more O-rings or another set of hoses, you will not be able to pull a vacuum. All right, so now I'm just gonna put my harness back on here. All right. And we put our fan back on. Quick tip though, is very important. If you got a house with 2 units, both of them need to be up and running, because this unit hasn't shut off since I've been here. This is a small unit for upstairs, this one for downstairs. This unit trying to cool the whole house. So I understand my DIYers out there. You want to do the job yourself, but especially if you got 1 unit, to collect all the tools that I say we're going to need. By the time you do that, and if you're not good at brazing and you're trying to find out you put all the refrigerant in there, you still got a leak, you might as well hire a qualified, licensed company come out there and do the work for you. Like I say, because you're waiting, you got 1 unit, you got your wife hot, when you could have went on and just paid a couple more dollars and to get it done the right way. Hopefully they give you a labor warranty and all that good stuff on there. But like I say, cause this one right here, energy bill is probably gonna be sky high, because this thing hadn't shut off. Trying to cool this whole house by itself. All right, so I'm down about 30-some PSI. Now I can go ahead and kind of open it up a little bit, let it go out a little faster. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one right here. This will be for my micron gauge. This one is for my vacuum pump. Now, if you had a 3-port, let me show you real quick. I'm using a 4-port, so I'm gonna close this one, and I'm gonna make sure my liquid and my suction and my vacuum, my big hose, is open 100% all the way. Now I'm gonna go around here. And like I say, if you had a 3-port, you'll have a cap on here, and you'll use your 3rd one for that one right there. So we're gonna use this one. All right. Like I say now, Plug it in. There we go. So now we're pulling a vacuum. Right. Now we, like I say, do a little housekeeping. I'm gonna get a hammer. I may braze that up, put that on my truck, clean up a little bit, put my fan back on, replace the capacitor. All right. So we're putting a vacuum on it now. So while it's putting a vacuum, I'm going to change out this capacitor right here. It's a 45 by 5. We're gonna go back with a 45 by 5 cap. I haven't tested, just gonna put a new one on here. A lot of time these carriers, well, I guess we can go ahead and just test it. A lot of time these carriers, with them color coders on there, they go out pretty fast. Let's see what we get here. Put our meter on microfarad. Like I said, you change the compressor and the contact, you basically got a refurbished unit out here. And the fan motor. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, so I'll put this on my common here. I'm gonna put the next one on our Herm. Let's see what we do here. Oh, I got 98. I can see that. Got 98 on my meter. So that capacitor wasn't no good anyway. Good. Yeah, it getting some weird numbers on that cap. Everything on here is good. 79. That cap is no good. Let's put one on the fan. Fan, I'm getting 3.8, so it's weak also. 3.8 on the fan. And we're getting some weird number on the Herm. I'm gonna put a new one on here. A little bit too big. Let me get another one. All right, so it's just more material you're gonna need. I guarantee you, you ain't gonna be able to get the right size cap. Well, size, I mean the one to fit that's in the current bracket. They do want to make sure you get the right size. If it calls for a 45 by 5, you gotta get that exact one. So these plumber straps are really good to make a bracket with. We don't want to get it too close to that contactor right there. All right. So it's a nice tug fit right there. Cut this. I'll leave a little room just in case somebody come behind me. But this one go out and they have a fatter one, bigger one, to give them a little slack. We're gonna cut it so fold it so won't nobody get cut. All right. I'll rotate that around right there. My comment right here. It's coming from the contactor. Right. This is my black. gonna go on L1. And my fan yellow was gonna comment on the back side back here. Alright. So now looking for my brown, this is my fan. Make sure we got a nice tug fit. And this blue is my herm. Get us some zip ties, clean it up a little bit. Alright, so we're getting up close to under 1,000 microns at 1,500 right now. Clean this up. Get that one back up. Check out my connection here. Pretty good. A little slack there. Alright. So the next thing you're gonna need is your refrigerant, whatever kind you got, whether it's R22, 407C, 410A, R32, 454B. You ain't gonna need a refrigerant scale. To me, it's a must. To have a refrigerant scale. But I'm gonna tear that out. This is a new drum here, so it should weigh about 34 pounds full. If it was empty, the drum weighed about 9 pounds itself on this 410A. So I just like to put it on there and tear it out. And I showed earlier in the video, this had a factory charge, 5.5 pounds in here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna put in there. I got 5.4. So I'm gonna weigh in anywhere between 5.5 or 5.42 and 6 pounds. And then we're gonna let it run for a while. Say indoor TXV subcooling is 11 degrees. So that's what we're gonna try to accomplish. Right. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm at about 1100 something, I'm at 1200 PSI. I'm gonna get this down about 500. So it's probably gonna take another 15 to maybe 30 minutes. And we'll get ready to charge it up. And really, if you don't have a micron gauge or anything like that, be honest with you, you get it. Be nice to get it under 1,000 if you had a micron gauge, but even if you didn't have any signs of leak, you just had a grounded compressor or something like that, and you did a nitrogen hold at like 250 to 400 PSI, just pull your vacuum down maybe about an hour, just forget about it, come back and charge it up. You'll be all right. All right, so I have reached my target level, so we're gonna be good on there right there. All right, go ahead and charge it up. All right, so I got this tear here. Another thing I want to do is purge it now. Purge this. I'm gonna turn it over for a liquid. All right, so let's purge. Like I say, so I'm just gonna put 5 pounds in there, 5.5. So I'm gonna open this up my suction is closed, I'm just gonna charge it as a liquid. I got the unit off, I can charge it as a liquid. My pressure, I'm charging it as a liquid. If this compressor is on, I have to close this red valve or the liquid valve. With the compressor on, I gotta charge it up as a suction because it's gonna be sucking in. So like I say, with the unit off, you can charge it up as a liquid. Just weigh in your charge to 5.5, 5.4, whatever your name tag say. And my remote is very low, as you can see. See, thinking HVAC, we get too cute with these tools. Sometimes because you gotta charge this one up by the C cable, the USB-C. I'd just rather have a battery with a cord or something on there, or at least a wireless with a battery. You don't have to depend on charging it up. I gotta start remembering I got an inverter in my truck, but I forget to charge stuff up sometime. But yeah, you're weighing in 5.5 pounds. That's how you charge it up. If you got 410 refrigerant, you got to charge it up as a liquid. So it's very good if you can get as much as you can after you pull your vacuum. You get much as you can with the unit off. Because with the unit on, we got to charge it slowly. And this one has a sight glass. You got a sight glass that'll help you charge it also. You just clear that sight glass up. Alright. We almost there. Like I said, I'm gonna put 5.5 in here. I'm gonna turn the unit on. And then we're gonna charge by subcooling. It's all subcooling right here. With the unit on, we'll charge it up. So it says 5.42, so it should be good. Alright, and with 410A refrigerant, you gotta be precise. Alright, so I'm gonna get all this stuff buttoned up and I'm gonna go to the thermostat and turn it on. And now we're gonna charge it up. I closed this line here, all my lines are closed, my valve's closed. I'm gonna turn the unit on and start charging it up from right here. But with a factory charge, I'm gonna let it run maybe about 5 minutes. I'm sure it's very hot in the house. But this unit here been kicking though, so it might not be too bad. Let's go take a look at the thermostat. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this breaker around here. I think I can go ahead and put this back on. Matter of fact, I think I have it off at the breaker also. So what I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna see if I can get it to call it the thermostat. I thought I told them they can leave the blower and stuff on. Alright, there we go. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this off here and put it maybe right here. Alright, so I think the breaker still may be tripped or off. I want to see how it sounds when I fire it up, so I turn it on at the breaker. All right, got 82 degrees. Do I blow? Thought I told him to change that filter. I might have a 20 by 30 in my truck. I'll get to him. Them lights though. It's old school, yeah. All right, yeah, so we're still off at that breaker. All right, which one? So this is gonna be it right here. Let's see how it sounds. I'm gonna turn it on. Yep, sound good. Right. Like I say, before I add any more, I'm just going to let it run about 5 minutes. Like I say, we do got a sight glass as well. we have to clear that sight glass up. See it's flashing? We want it clear. But let me let it run for a little while. All right. Maybe the filter start caving in like that. Very dirty. That'll mess up when I'm trying to charge the unit up, so you can't see through there all that thick hair. Can't get a good charge. Blowing snowballs though. They got 82 degrees at the thermostat. That's 20. That's pretty good. Like I said, I can go by the thermostat for my return. Getting tired. Take my word for it. It's about between 80 and 82 degrees up in here. So that's a good delta T. All right, though. Hey, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this one up. We're gonna go ahead and roll to the next one. Like I say, that was a compressor change out. Pick up the pressures one more time. Like I said, I'm just gonna, my goal is, so I'm already at, that's good sub cooling right there. I don't need to add any more refrigerant to it. It's blowing cool, pressure looks good. So that's a compressor change out, DIY style, like I say. But if you're a DIY homeowner, unless you got the tools or whatever, or if you got time to put into this, just go ahead and get you a licensed contractor, you know, and get the job done right. For hopefully, you know, it can last, the repair can last a long time. But I understand some of y'all stubborn. I mean, you can do it yourself, but why spend that kind of money on the necessary tools that you're going to need to get the job done correctly? But if anybody don't want to do it themselves, if you're in the Houston, Texas area, West Houston area, contact Washington AC and Heating, 713-570-6539. We can come troubleshoot the unit, put you a new compressor in there. We do maintenance. We also do install. So indoor air quality products. So if you're looking to upgrade your system though, hey, if you had a bad compressor, something like that, you just want to change the whole thing out, we can do that also. as always, thanks for watching. And hit that like and subscribe button. We do most of my content. It ain't much editing or anything like that. It's just troubleshooting, multiple units, hundreds of units, probably thousands of units at this point. So if you're interested in that type of content, or if you think somebody interested in this type of content, share it with them. Anybody that's thinking about changing career, want to get into the HVAC trade, I think my videos can be helpful. As always, y'all take care. Thanks for watching. That was a compressor change out. This is what I mean when I say a clear sight glass. It's not flashing anymore. That means we're good and charged up. It's clear. You can see right through it.